mysterious drone spotted in the New Jersey night sky, prompting an FBI investigation and temporary flight restrictions from the FAA. Multiple reports of this unusual aircraft activity around the Trump National Golf Course Club, Bedminster, as well as a U.S. Army ammunition hub in Dover. All right, let's get out to senior national correspondent Brian Enton. Brian, what else are we learning here?
Yeah, it's very mysterious. The FBI and local law enforcement say they're investigating, Nicole, but they have not given an update about exactly where these drones are coming from. Residents in Morris County have been videoing the large drones at night. Here's some of the video here. They've got bright lights. They appear in the sky only at night, apparently. They say the drones started appearing in mid-November. The FBI says there could also be fixed-wing aircraft spotted as part of this investigation. Morris County is just north of the Trump National Golf Club at Bedminster, though there is no evidence that the drones are specifically targeting Trump's property, but the vicinity is certainly raising some eyebrows. The sheriff's office put out a statement acknowledging what residents have been calling in and seeing and saying there is an active investigation.
They kind of go slow. They come towards you, then they'll change direction a little. They're all going different ways. They're not up for 15 minutes, they're up for hours. Some are very big, probably the size of a car.
So the Federal Aviation Administration has imposed drone flight restrictions in the area while this investigation continues. Police have said there is no threat to public safety, but as you can imagine, Nicole, the residents find it unnerving not knowing exactly where these drones are coming from.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, until that mystery is solved. So.
Guys, we have a serious problem on our hands. We are being watched or observed by someone or something, and very little is being done about it. Don't get me wrong, now the FBI is investigating, but that doesn't, make me more comfortable about what we're dealing with. Look at what's happening with these drones. This is way worse than the Chinese spy balloon debacle we went through a while back. This is 10 times worse. But nothing's really being done about it, and no explanations are being given. And folks, the door has been wide open. If the government had a legitimate explanation for this, the door has been wide open for them to give an explanation. We've gotten nothing. Instead, now we have the FBI investigating. Now, obviously, one of my main takeaways from these drones are that they're obviously not really trying to hide, right? They're huge. They're the size of a freaking minivan. And they have these blinking lights on them and they're glowing. So it's not like whoever or whatever is using these drones, whatever or whoever it is, it's not like they're really trying to be super secretive about it. Because if they were, I'm sure they could fly around without blinking and glowing and all of that nonsense. But I don't know, folks. I don't know, and for the life of me, I'm wondering why haven't you, tracked or followed these drones back to where they're taking off from? It really seems like an open and shut case. It seems like it should be easier, right? It should be pretty easy. So, for 2 weeks straight, we got these crazy drones flying in the sky. How about we just track them back to wherever they're coming from? But as of today, as of right now, at the time of this recording, they haven't tracked these drones back anywhere. At least according to them, they don't know where they're launching from. Now, we've seen other stories like this throughout America. I know for a fact that the Air Force was tracking drones over a military base not that long ago, and they lost track of the drones. And these were smaller drones, the ones that you can buy at Best Buy. And they're outrunning, outmaneuvering, outsmarting the U.S. military, supposedly. Now, of course, some would say that this is just the U.S. This is probably the U.S. military doing this. And I wouldn't argue against you if you thought that. That is very well possible. But it seems a little on the nose that these drones are always flying over sensitive areas. You know what I mean? If America and the U.S. military wanted to use these drones, which, hey, maybe they are, I would think that we would be hearing more reports of, oh, drones, mysterious drones flying over military bases in Russia and North Korea and stuff like that. No, it's happening here in America. And personally, I believe half the people in our government are against everyday Americans as well. So when I look at people within our own government, I don't see the difference between them and our enemies in Russia, China, or insert country's name here. So I do think we have a lot of people in America that are working against America, and maybe they could be behind this, or at the very least, maybe they're the ones responsible for doing nothing, as our enemies, or as whoever this is, spies on us and watches us and collects information about our military bases and what have you. Now, something that's really weird and interesting, I guess you could say, is that a lot of these drones in New Jersey, they're flying over Trump's golf course out there in New Jersey. Why would they be doing that? Are they collecting sensitive information about Trump's golf courses so they can in the future try to take him out like they did in Florida? I don't know. I wish I had an explanation for you all, but I don't. And it just really seems like it would be super easy to track these drones down to wherever they're coming from. But for some reason, that's not happening. I don't know why. But let's go ahead and roll this news clip, and then I'll be right back with more.
Fleet of unidentified drones are flooding the skies near reservoirs, military bases, even Trump's golf club in Bedminster. Some people are seeing up to 5 at a time.
I can see 3 drones just in this view. There is another one over here and another one back here.
There's a 4th.
That's 5.
And the drones are flying in formation, but we don't know who's piloting them. And now the FBI is getting involved. The Newark Bureau is asking the public to report back any information, citing multiple drones and possible fixed-wing aircraft. The drones are hovering over sensitive areas. Some were spotted over a reservoir, which is prohibited. One local drone expert says you don't normally fly drones over critical infrastructure like that. It raises concerns among any citizen, people who manage airports or man aircraft in the sky. And they're not operating some tiny toy you pick up at Radio Shack. One local says, quote, all somebody needs to see is the size. You're not buying them off of Amazon or some hobby store. Asked if he believes they're military grade? Absolutely. So why this part of New Jersey? Well, maybe it's because there's a 6,000-acre military base operating there. Oh, and if you drive about 30 minutes, welcome to Bedminster, the site of Trump National Golf Club. This is a major threat. Remember, Thomas Crooks flew a drone over Butler before nearly killing 45. The FAA is taking action, grounding all drones over the military base or golf club until after Christmas. But this isn't the first time we've heard of something like this. A recent report detailed mysterious drones swarming a Virginia air base for 17 straight days just last December. Why? Nobody knows. We're demanding answers about what's going on up here because the feds don't have a great track history with unknown flying objects. Just ask the Chinese and their spy balloons.
Now, I will say this. I understand why they don't have fighter jets out there blowing these drones out of the sky because they're flying over residential areas, okay? So you don't want to pose any threat to the public by shooting one of these things down and it lands on someone's home or lands on some kids in a playground. You know, use your imagination. You don't want those bad things to happen. So I get that part. I get that aspect of it. But to simply track these things down to wherever they're coming from, I don't think that should be too hard. I mean, we can track every airplane basically on Earth, where it's going and where it's coming from, but we can't track these drones. And one thing I pointed out in one of my past videos is that these aren't your average, everyday, like small household drones. These are reportedly the size of a freaking vehicle, a car. That's huge. So this isn't some random person in their house flying these drones. And at times there are dozens of them flying together in formation and things of that nature. So there's obviously something really weird going on here. And as I've reported to you all in the past, this isn't just happening in New Jersey. It's happening all over America. And now it's happening over military bases in the UK. And all of this is going on as, of course, wars are ramping up around the world. We got all the chaos going on in the Middle East between Israel, Gaza, Lebanon, Iran. You got NATO and Russia basically at war with each other now. South Korea, it looks like they're becoming kind of unstable. Syria's got a lot going on over there in Syria. So there's a lot of just military conflicts going on around the world. And it appears to me that if this isn't the U.S. military, then obviously our enemies are watching us, and there seems like there's not much that we can do about it, which also seems weird. But, I mean, you come up with an explanation, ladies and gentlemen. You tell me what you think. There's thousands of you all watching this video. Let's put our brains together. What's the best explanation that you can come up with? Let us know down in the comments below. But while you're down there, make sure you hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all very soon in the next one.